What do you think, as one of India's leading podcasters, is the future of podcasting in India? At what point of time did you realize that your podcast has taken off and now there's no going back?
So I don't see it as like is it a commercial success? Is it going to be a big thing? No, nothing. For me, it was just like, I want to grow and I want to focus on my personal growth. Can I learn from people who are better than me? So I want to start talking to them. That's what podcast. So instead of reading books, I just took that, like, okay, let's say in a day, if I'm reading 5 hours of books, I cut that down to 2, and the rest 3 hours I do podcast. So for me, from day one, it was just like, oh, I'm doing this as a lifestyle. This is my life. It's not about I'm going to make it, I'm not going to make it. Nothing, never. I've never doubted myself whether it will become good thing, big thing, nothing. We were very sure from day one, the day we started, we'll be India #1, because we know that we're going to be very sure of just learning.
I want to know a little bit about what has got you here. What did you study? How did you get here? What was your interest in talking to people? Where did it begin?
Okay, so I was in Indore, born and brought up there. Till 16, I was a pretty useless, lazy kid, grown up in a middle-class family. And I saw my father struggling with finances a bit. Not like we didn't have money to eat, but it was like, I knew that if my father stops earning, my family will not be able to do well. So that time I realized, oh, you know what? I need to game up. I need to do something. And I need to start learning. I need to maybe do an internship, get a job, or maybe join my father's business, or do something about it. And that was the first realization. So I started learning a lot about business, started doing a couple of things, and then started a business with my dad. Built that for 7-8 years. And then after that, we had a fallout. And between me and my dad, just for 2 months, we were just, hey, you this, you that, all of this. We were just fighting typical dad and kid fights. And that time I decided I'll start something on my own.
Yeah.
And I wanted to start, and my firm belief is that personal brands are going to become really, really big. So entrepreneurs should build brands.
This was when?
This was COVID.
Okay,
this was 2020.
Yeah.
And I started calling people that I'm going to handle your accounts. And people said, hey, you don't have a brand. How can you tell that you'll build our distribution? So I was like, okay, let me do one thing. I'll build my own personal brand. So I started doing that. And then for 6 months, I only did Instagram and tried to just grow my account, where I was just telling business news, business conversations, motivation, all the stuff that I do.
Yeah, but did you study all that, or this was just your natural instinct?
Just natural instinct, because I wanted to become big. So I started reading Forbes a lot. I started reading a lot of business books a lot. So whatever I would study and read from that, I would just put that up on my Instagram. And then my Instagram blew up. And then I decided, hey, you know what? I love learning. I am growing. And I see that tomorrow I might get an opportunity because of this distribution. So let me focus on my personal growth more and let me start a podcast. And that's how the podcast started, because I just wanted to grow more and I want to focus on my personal growth. And that's how I started talking to new people.
Was that like that one podcast where things just started changing for you and you got recognized more, the numbers grew faster, the followers grew faster?
My first 50 podcasts were just audio. And I used to upload it through Buzzsprout and then upload on multiple platforms, right? Then I started doing video, and video was on Zoom call. Yeah. He was the first guy I did with Sandeep Das, then Gaurav Ritu, like bunch of people together. And nobody knew them, nobody knew me. I did it. I think after my first 100 episodes, on one of the episodes, I got like 10,000 views. And that was like big thing. Then I kept doing, then 10,000 became 50,000, then 100,000. Then it got to 500K, then it got to million. So there was never a point where I got like, oh, one podcast made my life. Never.
Yeah, because I've spoken to some people, especially who do a lot of YouTube, where like overnight there was one video that they started getting recognized. And also it's nice to know that there is also a possibility of this steady organic growth which you have experienced.
So I'll give you an example, okay? My recent podcast, one of the podcasts which went like 25, 30 million views. Last year, we had a podcast which went 22 million views. It's not like, oh, this is for the first time it's happening. Before that, we had a podcast which went 15 million views. Before that, we had a podcast which went 10 million views. So it has always just grown step by step.
You're used to the millions now.
Not really.
No?
Not really.
Okay. Is there a number that will actually make you feel like you've arrived, or you still think you've not arrived?
No, I think the day we'll become world number one in the podcasting world, I think that'll be the day we'll feel maybe we've done something.
And is it comfortable for you to speak out your goals so
Oh
openly?
yeah, very. I've been a loudmouth with ambition and dreams from day one. Even when I was literally nobody and nobody believed me, not even my team.
Yeah.
Since then, I've been talking about this. I believe in talking about dreams out loud.
There is this one thing that most creators go through, whether you're doing a podcast or YouTube, whether you're doing interviews, whatever you're doing, there is something called self-cringe, where you don't want to hear yourself, you don't want to see yourself. Did you ever experience that, and how did you get over this self-ick?
Every month.
You still experience it?
Of course. Next month, I'll be watching this interview and I'll be like, oh shit, what did I do? I believe cringing on yourself is a part of growing. If you're not actually cringing on yourself every month or every year, you're not growing. So I look at my previous interviews, previous videos, last year's stuff. I cringe on myself very hard. I don't want to hear myself. I don't want to look at myself. Now, some random fan page will upload some reel from 5 years ago or like 4 years ago. And I'm like, shit, why did they do this?
What was I talking?
What was I talking? How was I looking? What was my hair? How was I speaking? Bunch of stuff which I never cared about. Now it gives me an ick.
What will you tell like a person who's just coming around trying to get their own podcast or beginning their creator journey? What is your message for them to get over the self-ick?
I believe you should not get over the self-ick. I think every month your previous version of yourself should give you an ick and should actually make you cringe about yourself. Or else, what's the point?
So you keep getting better and better and better.
If you're not actually getting an ick, it means you're not growing. It means you've gotten comfortable in the same version of yourself, which is so bad. It's worse than not getting it. Like, not getting an ick is worse than getting an ick.
If you Google today the drawbacks of drinking water, you will find that on the internet, right? Even water is not far from getting cancelled. It's so easy to cancel people, to cancel things and all of that. How did you get comfortable with being disliked?
I genuinely feel if my parents respect me, my team members respect me, and I respect myself, and whoever's in my love life or my close relationships, I think apart from that, I don't care about anyone. And it's just about respect, not talking about liking or disliking. They'll also like some things about me, dislike some things about me. It's just about respect. And the rest, I'm just going to keep doing my things.
How have you been so safe from ever getting cancelled? I mean, all creators get cancelled. Everybody has an opinion. You've always been on the other side. Barely anybody will ever have anything controversial to say about you, Raj.
I've gotten some kind of heat from people because of this really hustle hard, work for like forever and keep working, no breaks kind of, attitude. People call me out on that.
Is that really who you are? Because I recently saw a few of your stories where you said, I have 104-degree fever and here I'm doing water sports. And I was like, what is wrong with this guy? Is this really who you are? Do you really promote that level of hustle?
Okay,
and
I don't promote. I talk about that this is who I am. I know that there are parts of me which are not healthy and nice, but it makes me who I am. I don't want to fake about my personality just to look a little sane and safe.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. I think probably one of the reasons why people like us and they don't think that, okay, we should cancel this guy. Because I've been like this from day one. I believe that everybody should write down, every creator, every public figure should write down values, what they have, and just stand for them. You talk to any team member or talk to me, even if it's sleep, we focus on value, not views. We focus on teaching, not on trends. We focus on sense, not on sensationalism. This is our core.
Such a wrong thing to say in a media house. Say we don't focus on like sensationalism. What do you say? You focus on sense.
Yeah, we don't. We don't. That's how we are. There have been people on my podcast who have given us such sensationalizing stuff, insane stuff. And those gossips or little things will work for me.
Yeah.
I just cut it out because it doesn't make sense and there's no learning or teaching out of it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't want to do that. So probably that's the reason that we're stuck like that. And we don't care about views. That's why we probably... Maybe there are things which are coming in the future which might cancel us. Maybe there are things which people will notice after a few years about my past and they're like, oh, we should have cancelled. I don't know. People are so fickle. Till now, I think the value system has worked for us.
So tell me something about your personal life that nobody knows.
I'm a big illogical emotional lover. Like
Can't imagine you to be. Your name is Raj.
Yeah,
like, come on.
I'm exactly
like you were born to do
I'm
just
a full
that.
Bollywood lover. I have zero logic when it comes to love.
Okay.
Like zero. I'm not rational at all.
Okay.
With my partner, with my friends, with my family, relationship, whatever. I'm just like, I'm a giver. I don't expect anything out of people. Extreme lover boy. I will treat you like a prince, like you're the queen of my world. Like you're the princess, you're the queen. Anything that you do is logical for me. Like I'm that. So that's one of the things that
people don't know about
people don't know about me.
The podcasting world has anyway become so cluttered. What do you think, as one of India's leading podcasters, is the future of podcasting in India?
Okay, the leading podcaster.
The leading podcaster. Okay, let's say that. Fine.
This is just me being me, okay? I'm just making
Yeah. You need to be
sorry,
you.
Okay? I'm a little unapologetic sometimes, okay? The future, I think it's just getting started.
But it's such a saturated market.
No, who says saturated? It's surface level.
I feel like Nirmala needs to put like special tax on podcast mics. Everybody has podcast mics. Everybody thinks they're podcasters.
I believe there are not enough podcasts with depth. It's just like the news world or interviews, right? The way you do it. If somebody wants to become what you do, it's so difficult for them to do what you do because there's a huge legacy. And then they'll have to beat that. But if somebody finds out, here are 3 things that you're not doing and let me do just that, they'll be able to build a bigger thing. So that's what podcasting needs right now. We need depth. We don't need surface level podcasts. We don't need, maybe Raj is doing this, let me do this. They've already done their part. There are so many topics and issues which probably none of us are touching. Go deeper on that. In America, which is a much bigger podcasting market, there are podcasts which are making $1 million a month. They talk only about gardening. Do you think India has any gardening podcast?
No, we don't.
And there are enough people right now who really care about home gardens and plants. You can make something out of it. There's no tourism podcast right now. There's no automobile podcast right now. There's no specific fashion podcast right now. There are so many stuff which I genuinely believe there needs to be there.
So you feel the market is not cluttered and there's a lot of room for growth?
Okay. For me, podcast, if you look at for education, every subject can have a deeper podcast. Psychology, psychiatry, math, science, history, everything can have it. And then at the same time, every entertainment segment of your life can also have a podcast. There can be just a gossip podcast, just sex podcast, just a fashion podcast, just Bollywood podcast, just a bunch of stuff.
You started as a business podcaster and then you moved on to doing a lot of other things. You've actually thrived in a specialized world. Like you said, you need to have a specialized podcast for things. You have thrived in a specialized world by being a generalist.
I don't think we're generalist.
So you don't follow a beat. Your content is not like a specific one-sided content platform. You cover all kinds of people. Where would you say your expertise lies?
We only focus on personal growth content. And that's divided into 4 categories. Health, wealth, relationships, and country reality. Tell me a podcast which doesn't lie in any of these. These are the only 4 categories. All 4 helps you become a better person.
Because when you said we focus on personal development, I was like, okay, then where does the Vijay Mallya podcast fall in
reality.
What was your intention with that interview?
What went wrong? I want to know that. So that we want to learn from that. My intention was, I want to listen to that side of story and learn from how did he build it and how did he himself destruct it.
Give me an example of what you won't do, like a subject you won't touch.
Like horror, I won't touch. Like random occult, something I won't touch. I'm very religious. But I won't try to push my, religious beliefs on anyone just by doing a podcast. I won't do these things.
What do you have to say about these, podcasts which go in that very occult space? There is like deeper conversations about mythology which may not have any science or like any sort of backing.
Horror, religion, sex, astrology are the biggest numbers in India. You take Spotify listings, Apple listings, you'll see these are the biggest numbers.
So then how have you become the most popular podcaster without touching that in a very extreme manner?
So there's a new India which focuses on personal growth. And people who do that, good for them because they believe in it. I will never do it. The day I start believing in it, I'll do it. I don't believe in it today. And I don't believe it not because that, hey, I've understood it and then I've taken a very extreme, very known view on that. No, I've not done that. I just don't understand that. I've never tried to learn that subject. And I've just stayed away from it, just been tried a little ignorant. I think it works and it works for few people. So whoever it works for, they should do it.
What do you consume as content?
So neuroscience, psychology, and then very random South movies, which I love.
Do Indian podcasters inspire you at all?
I've never consumed an Indian podcast. I've never even consumed like a lot of like Western podcasts. I just follow one podcast and that too, maybe once in 6 months, I'll end up watching one of his episodes, The Diary of a CEO. I really love him. Steven, love that guy. That's it. I don't look at or hear or listen or consume any other content.
So where does consumption come from? Because you're a creator, you're creating non-stop, right? So you're giving a lot. What sort of things do you like to consume?
Books, dictionaries, concepts, articles, blogs, research papers. I love all of that. Like I read dictionaries every day.
What do you mean read dictionaries? What does that mean?
There are so many types of dictionaries, you know this? There's a specific dictionary for sociology. There's a specific dictionary for knowing your emotions. There's a specific dictionary for just critical thinking. There's a specific dictionary for just health. So there are a bunch of stuff. I read all of them. I love that.
That's your consumption.
Yeah.
Like you said, Bollywood and like society people and all are a very small part of your podcasting network. You know, you've interviewed educationists, economists, authors, diplomats. Doing all of that, you still refrain from having any sort of particular ideology that is Raj's ideology coming to the fore in the course of all these interviews. So is it important for an interviewer or a podcaster to wear their ideology on their sleeves? Because you don't do that.
I don't know if it's important to know. For me, it's not.
And why is that?
I am not here to take side of left or right. I'm here to just do me. My ideology is curiosity. I want to be curious. I don't want to do anything else. I think there are enough platforms who tell you what to think. I want to create a space where I teach people how to think. And that's my job. I want to make sure that people learn how to think. And it's up to them whether they want to choose A side, B side, C side.
How would you make yourself relevant if there was no podcasting and YouTube?
I don't think podcasting is about, or relevance is about a platform. I think relevance is about putting your intentions out and expressing what you really feel and what you want to learn and teach. That's it. If there was no podcast, I would have written it. I would have written papers, books. If there was nothing like that, I would have hosted small conferences. If there was nothing like that, I would have just shared it with 5 of my friends. I would have still feel relevant in that echo chamber feeling.
Do you rest at all? I don't think you rest at all.
I do rest. This is, okay, Sonal, I learn and teach and talk to people for living.
Yeah.
Do you think you need rest for that? That is what you want to do in your rest.
Yeah.
So for me, that's rest.
Like
I play an
said,
infinite game like that.
Like I said, you would make Narayan Murthy very proud because you love what you do. And when you love what you do, there's no rest for those kind of people.
I genuinely believe I don't work. I think I just play.
Yeah.
For me, it's just like playing a game.
You are almost 2,000 videos down, 11 million followers. By the time this goes up, it'll be somewhere else. Raj, I'm very certain. What are the 3 things that you know about Indians and India for sure?
Okay, India just don't want to know success story.
Okay.
They want to know why, what, how, and the tools which it took for somebody to become successful. That's one thing that India wants. So everybody needs to now shape their storytelling in that way.
Okay.
You need to tell them why did you do this? What did you do? How did you do it? What tools did you use? Who are the people who help you? So that you need to figure out. So that's first. Second is, I don't think India is risk averse. Everybody talks about this. Oh, India is very risk averse. India is very safe. India is doing, we don't think big, all of that. I don't think that. And third, which is most important thing, which I'm seeing, and that's my personal biased view, I don't think India now, the biggest export in India is not IT. The biggest export in India is ambition. From the smallest of the smallest town to the biggest of the biggest boardrooms to people living in abroad who are Indians, we've all become ambitious. So I think ambition now is the new thing that we're exporting the highest in the world.
How do you cope up with crap views? A podcast didn't do as well as you anticipated.
Oh, every week.
How do you deal with that?
We don't.
You get angry?
We never look at views. Go ahead and watch my podcast. You'll see one podcast doing 5 million views, the other doing 200k views. Then third, you'll see 100k views.
So you don't look at that
I
at all.
don't care. I care about what do I need to learn next, what my audience need to learn next. That's it. Does it do? No. There was something we wanted to talk about, breast cancer. We know that the topic is so sensitive and so small and so niche, nobody will care about. I don't care if it'll get views or no.
You still want to do it?
I want to do it because it's such a big thing for me, because I lost my nani because of breast cancer. So I want to learn about it. And I care about just one person who can learn something out of it.
What's the worst podcasting advice someone's ever given you?
Chase views. Do things for the trends. That's the worst advice.
And what's the best one?
Best is stick to your core. Whatever you're interested in and whatever you want to do, do that.
Who gave that to you?
The best advice?
Yeah.
I gave it to myself.
Okay, what's your life's purpose and meaning right now?
My life's purpose is I would just want to learn how to live and love better.
Okay, on that note.
You got no scoops, no? You wanted some scoop juice.
No, you're a very ideal boy. Either you really are very ideal or you're really good at telling me that you're ideal, because I believe that. I genuinely believe that. When I see your work, when I spoke to you right now, it feels like a very authentic version of who you are.
Thank
right?
you.
And I don't think there will ever be any juice scoop cancel happening with you unless you do something very out of character.
Yeah.
That can happen. But otherwise, I think this is a very sweet spot.
You can go talk to all the team members in separate and silos, or you can look at 5 years, 10 years of history of my internet, or you can talk to my family. You will see the same Raj version.
Yeah, I believe that, Raj. I think it comes out through the way people talk, the way people conduct their interviews or conduct themselves. It reflects.
Thank you.
And that's where we are at. Thank you for this time.
Thank you so much.
It's taken me a while to get you here, but it's absolutely been worth it.